The South China Sea, a strategic and resource-rich maritime region, has become a flashpoint for international tensions due to China's assertive territorial claims and activities. The United States, along with other nations, has voiced strong opposition to these actions, citing violations of international law. This video delves into the legal, political, and strategic dimensions of China's actions in the South China Sea, highlighting the reasons for US support against these violations. Historical context. China's claim to the South China Sea is primarily rooted in the Nine-Dash Line, a demarcation that originated from maps issued by the Republic of China in the mid-20th century. This line covers roughly 90% of the South China Sea and overlaps with the territorial claims of several Southeast Asian nations, including the Philippines, Vietnam, Malaysia, Brunei, and Taiwan. The region is highly contested due to its strategic significance and abundant resources. The United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, UNCLOS, ratified by 167 countries including China, provides a framework for maritime boundaries and resource rights. UNCLOS grants countries the right to territorial seas extending 12 nautical miles from their coastlines and exclusive economic zones extending 200 nautical miles. China's extensive claims within the Nine-Dash Line conflict with these provisions, leading to accusations of violating international law. The Philippines brought a case against China to the Permanent Court of Arbitration, which in 2016 ruled that China's claims based on the Nine-Dash Line had no legal basis under UNCLOS. Despite this ruling, China has continued to assert its claims, leading to heightened tensions and incidents in the region. The dispute remains a critical issue in international relations, affecting regional stability and international maritime law. Legal violations and international responses. In 2013, the Philippines initiated a legal case against China at the Permanent Court of Arbitration, PCA, in The Hague, contesting the legality of China's expansive claims in the South China Sea. By 2016, the PCA ruled decisively in favor of the Philippines, declaring that China's assertion of historical rights within the Nine-Dash Line had no legal foundation under the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, UNCLOS. The tribunal further condemned China's actions, such as constructing artificial islands and harassing Filipino fishermen, as violations of the Philippines' sovereign rights within its exclusive economic zones. However, China has refused to acknowledge or comply with the PCA's ruling. Beijing has persisted in its militarization and construction activities in the disputed region, erecting runways, ports, and other military infrastructure on these artificial islands. These actions have not only escalated tensions in the South China Sea, but have also significantly undermined international law, challenging the rule-based order that the PCA's decision aimed to uphold. Despite international criticism, China's stance and actions continue to create instability and conflict in the region. Strategic and security implications. The United States has responded to China's actions in the South China Sea by conducting freedom of navigation operations, FONOPs. These operations involve U.S. Navy vessels sailing near disputed islands and features to challenge excessive maritime claims and assert the principles of free passage in international waters. Through FONOPs, the U.S. demonstrates its commitment to upholding international law and ensuring that the South China Sea remains open to all nations. In addition to FONOPs, the U.S. has strengthened its alliances and partnerships with regional countries, such as the Philippines, Vietnam, and Japan. Joint military exercises, defense agreements, and increased military aid have enhanced these nations' capabilities to counter China's maritime aggression. The U.S. also actively participates in the Quadrilateral Security Dialogue, which includes Japan, India, and Australia. The Quad has emerged as a crucial forum for coordinating responses to security challenges in the Indo-Pacific, including those in the South China Sea. These measures reflect a multifaceted U.S. strategy aimed at maintaining regional stability, supporting allies, and ensuring that international norms and laws govern maritime conduct. The U.S.'s actions signal a robust commitment to defending the principles of freedom of navigation and a rules-based international order in the South China Sea. Economic and environmental concerns. China's actions in the South China Sea have significant economic implications. The region is a critical shipping lane, with an estimated $3.4 trillion worth of trade passing through annually. Disruptions or restrictions imposed by China's territorial claims could have far-reaching effects on global trade and economic stability. Additionally, the South China Sea is rich in natural resources, including fisheries and potential oil and gas reserves. China's aggressive pursuit of these resources threatens the economic livelihoods of neighboring countries. The construction of artificial islands and the militarization of natural features have also led to severe environmental degradation. Dredging and land reclamation activities have destroyed coral reefs and marine habitats, disrupting the delicate ecological balance of the region. The international community, including the US, has raised concerns about the long-term environmental impact of China's activities and the need for sustainable management of the South China Sea's resources. The cumulative effect of these actions is not only economic, but also environmental, highlighting the need for international cooperation to ensure the stability and sustainability of one of the world's most vital maritime regions. US policy and strategic goals. A cornerstone of US policy in the South China Sea is the promotion of a rules-based international order. The US emphasizes adherence to international law, particularly the UNCLOS, to resolve disputes peacefully and prevent conflict escalation. By challenging China's territorial claims and activities, the US aims to uphold the integrity of international legal frameworks, ensuring that all nations, regardless of size or power, adhere to the same rules. The US is also committed to maintaining regional stability and preventing the South China Sea from becoming a flashpoint for broader conflict. Through diplomatic engagement, a robust military presence, and support for regional multilateral institutions such as the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, ASEAN, the US seeks to deter aggression and encourage the peaceful resolution of disputes. The US Indo-Pacific strategy underscores the importance of a free and open Indo-Pacific, with the South China Sea being a critical component. This strategy aims to ensure that the region remains stable and accessible, supporting the principles of international law and promoting a balance of power that deters unilateral aggressive actions. China's strategic objectives. China's actions in the South China Sea are part of a broader strategy to expand its military influence and secure its maritime periphery. By establishing a network of bases and military installations on artificial islands, China aims to project power far from its shores and assert control over key maritime routes. This expansion of military capabilities poses a direct challenge to US dominance in the region and threatens the security of neighboring countries. For China, the South China Sea is also a matter of national sovereignty and historical legacy. Beijing views its claims as a continuation of historical rights and a critical component of its national rejuvenation. The Chinese government has used nationalist rhetoric to justify its actions and garner domestic support, framing the South China Sea as an integral part of China's territorial integrity. International reactions and diplomatic efforts. ASEAN has played a central role in diplomatic efforts to address the South China Sea disputes. While ASEAN's response has been somewhat divided, with member states having varying degrees of dependence on China, the organization has consistently called for the peaceful resolution of disputes and the adherence to international law. The ASEAN-China Code of Conduct negotiations, though slow, represent a potential pathway to managing tensions and preventing conflict. The international community has largely condemned China's actions in the South China Sea. The European Union, Japan, Australia, and other countries have issued statements supporting the PCA ruling and calling for compliance with international law. These diplomatic efforts are crucial in building a global consensus against unilateral actions that undermine maritime security and stability. China's violations of international law in the South China Sea represent a significant challenge to the rules-based international order and regional stability. The United States, in supporting the principles of freedom of navigation, adherence to international law, and the peaceful resolution of disputes, plays a vital role in countering China's aggressive actions. Through diplomatic engagement, military presence, and strengthening alliances, the US seeks to ensure that the South China Sea remains a free and open maritime region, benefiting all nations and upholding the principles of international law. The international community must continue to stand united in condemning actions that threaten peace, stability, and the rule of law in the South China Sea. So, what do you think of our video? Let us know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video and want to hear from me again, Be sure to hit that subscribe button before you go. Thanks for watching.